Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one, and it's my final video project for Bration 2019. So Bration is coming to an end on the 31st, so just 2 days time, last couple of days to get things. I've got my fingers crossed that we've still got the lasting lily and the lily framelets. I really hope we have. I just love them, and the story label punch, which I forgot to get out. I'm just going to get it now while we're filming. This one as well. So this was a standalone piece you could purchase, and the framelets as well. This box I did in Merry Merlot, but I'm going to do Fresh Fig this time round because Fresh Fig is retiring. So the in colours are retiring, which are 27 2019. So that is Powder Pink, Berry Burst, Fresh Fig, Tranquil Tide and Lemon Lime Twist. So everything to do with it is going. But I love the depths of this colour because that's what I was after with the lilies. I wanted this beautiful depth of colour. So, piece of cardstock that is 8 by 11 inches, 27 by 20 centimetres. Score on the long side at 1 1/4, 4 7/8, 6 1/8, and 9 3/4. Which in metric is 3, 12, 15 and 24. And then turn it round and score it at 1 1/4 and at 6 3/4, which in metric is 3 17. And the finished size of the box is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2 by 3 5/8, which is 3 by 14 by 9. And I kind of half designed the box so it would be a perfect fit. I'm looking for my bone folder. Here it is. A perfect fit for some DSP on the top. Because that's going to be retiring too. Certainly the in colours are. And we've got designer series paper to match every single colour that we have, which makes it really good when you just can't decide what pattern paper to go with. You don't need to choose. Okay, so my box is all folded around like this. I'm going to cut into all of the squares and mitre very slightly. So I'm going to trim there. So you're trimming up against the straight and wedging into the square. Oh, sorry, trimming the straight edge of the rectangle and into the square. So I'll do one side and pause it so you can see. So that's one side done. So I've wedged into the square, and I'm going to repeat the same up here. I have thoroughly enjoyed Bration this year. The stamp sets have been a massive hit. And then we had the second release with Painted Seasons. An incredible hit as well. I mean, we know that the ribbon sold out. I think it was about 2 weeks into Bration of a 3-month programme. So that sold out very quickly. But it's all been so very popular. And then when we brought in the coordinating products as well, just brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to put tape into all of these squares that are now not squares anymore. And this is what we're going to close it up with. I'm only putting one little piece. If you've got something super heavy or super precious, do a little bit more. And I'm going to take the backing off all of them. And start building it up. I call these fold over boxes because the lid folds over. I haven't yet come up with another ingenious name for it, but I reckon a fold over box makes sense. So that's going to fold round and stick in there, as is that one. And then this one also going to fold round and stick into here. So we're now making up the base, which means that one has to come round and do the same. And very quickly, because I forgot to do it, I'm going to put my DSP on, which we cut to size. What have I done with it? There it is. This measures, that's the wrong one. That's also the wrong one. What did I do with them when I wanted? That's the right width. Have I not cut it down the length? Oh, 5 1/4 by 3 3/8. Always useful if you cut your DSP to size. 5 1/4 by 3 3/8 of an inch. In metric, 13.5 by 8.5, and that just sits on the top. Let's nail that on. Did I confess that this is the end of quite a long filming session today? Okay, so that's going on there. Now I'm going to create the rest of the lid. That's coming round, that's coming round, and then it will fold up around like this. And I'm going to close it up with some lovely ribbon. So we've got ribbon to match the in colours, and it's a beautiful ruffled ribbon, which I find quite forgiving. It doesn't seem to mind my fumbly fingers as I'm trying to tie bows. Okay. So that's quite nice. Actually, I quite like the length of that. And now what I want to do is some stamping and die cutting. What do I do with my piece of whisper white? Can't find it, need another one. Okay, so I'm just going to chop that down, make it easier to work with. So I have got the stamp set and the dies to match. Like I say, I've got my fingers crossed that at this stage we've still got them. So I'm just going to take the lilies. I'm just going to let them relax on there for a moment. And pick up the big one and the smaller one and get my fresh fig ink, which is here. That's quite dark. I wonder if I want it a little bit paler. I think I might like the paler. I don't know, let's just die cut them all. Why not? So, I'm going to separate them like that so I can run them through the big shot together. So my lily framelets. Those two, and my big shot. I've got my magnetic platform, clear plate. I'm going to do the big one of that on that piece of paper, and then I'm going to do the small one on the other piece of paper. Whiz those through and then come back in and do the darker ones. If you haven't seen me or heard me explain why I do this, the magnets don't always let you do, it doesn't always, the framelets sometimes jump around on the magnets when you're trying to do die cutting on the same piece of paper, and this just allows me to move the paper around if necessary to where the magnets want to play, because it's not one big sheet of magnet, which is what I thought it was. And then I was under the impression that it was sort of like sand, but magnetic sand. And so I was spending ages shaking it, thinking, will that make a difference? No. Okay, so let's put those away. You know what they say, don't put it down, put it away. And then while I've got my ink out, I'm going to go with, I don't know. I think I might go with the same as I did before, so in which case I need to punch first, stamp afterwards. So this is the story label punch, and I want this one that says your proof there is good in the world. I'm going to put that up to the top, and then I might put today and always at the bottom. And that one underneath, I haven't got a big enough block, I can't see at all if that's straight. That is, and then this is what I do. I have one sponge, or one pack of sponges, and I just chop off bits as and when I need them and then chuck them in the bin. I don't really have the storage space to keep sponges for every colour, and I don't do a huge amount of sponged edges anymore, but that's not going to go in the bin. Tiny little bit, no drama to me. Right, let's bring in my box, scooch that lot out of the way. So I think I might do a little bit of a mixture. Yeah, I think that requires a mixture. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of all of them. I don't want that dark one. There we go. Whoops. Very sweet. Merry Merlot fresh fig. Just lovely. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me during Celebration. April's going to bring us amazing stuff. Oh my goodness, I've just looked to my left to remember what I'm filming for next week. Some amazing projects. Celebration's been brilliant. Still 2 more days to go. Or 3 if you include today. Ends on the 31st. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Bye.